Hey, I'm Mark Rothman, Progress Coach. Thanks for checking out another one of my quick takes. Today I'm going to talk about the Joe Manchin about face on the Inflation Reduction Act. Yeah, that's the name of the reconciliation bill that Manchin is now going to support, that's going to reduce our climate impacts, perhaps by 40% by 2030. It's going to reduce the deficit, and it's going to lower healthcare costs. You know, it almost sounds like a kind of Swiss Army knife of legislative bills. It's going to improve our climate future. It's going to make it cheaper for people who need healthcare to get some of that care they need. And it's going to reduce the budget deficit. I would like to think it's going to cure smoking too. Who knows what's going to happen? But it's an amazing thing. And what I love about it is that for the longest time, Manchin was denying his interest in the bill. He was not going to vote for it. And so another bill, which was called the CHIPS and Science Act, that will help make America more competitive with China around semiconductors. And that's really important because, you know, those are the brains of the computers that we use, you know, the newfangled things that kids are playing with these days. And if we fix those computers, if we keep up in chip technology in America, we're going to be able to compete around the world and help control the markets, and that's good for American economy, American capitalism, good for me. I love my Apple stock. So we want to make sure we're competitive in that. So what happened was Joe Manchin said, if you're going to bring this Reconciliation Act to the floor, I am never going to let the CHIPS and Science Act come to the floor. So Manchin said, all right, you know what, I'm out. The Democrats said, we're out. We're not negotiating with you anymore, Joe. Every time you tell us you want something, we'll say we'll give it to you, and then you change your mind again. So this is going nowhere. So then Mitch McConnell says, I'm going to bring it to the floor. The CHIPS and Science Act therefore gets passed by the Senate. It now goes to the House of Representatives, where the Democratic-controlled House of Representatives is going to pass it, and we're going to get this amazing act. But then the next day, Manchin steps up and says, oh, by the way, I'm also going to support this reconciliation bill. And so now that has a chance of being passed by the Democrats in Congress as well, because it's going to go through the Senate, it'll move over to the House, it'll get passed. McConnell's going to take his pound of flesh. He says, well, I'm going to tell the Republicans in the House not to vote for it. But because there's a majority of Democrats over Republicans, it will pass. And then Biden will sign it. And the most important thing, as much as I'm thrilled to hear that Senator McConnell got one-upped on senatorial manipulations. Remember, Senator McConnell is the guy who never brought President Barack Obama's nomination for the Supreme Court to even be discussed in the Senate, regardless of whether the man was qualified or whether he was going to get voted in or not. McConnell would not even allow the democratic process, and that's lowercase d democratic, to go forward. And he claimed, well, you know, because there's going to be a new election, we need to let the new president nominate his new Supreme Court justice. Never in the history of our country has that been a standard or a requirement. It was a new term McConnell just cooked up so that he could manipulate the process. So when he gets out manipulated, I've got to say that's a good day. At least, you know, I've got to say fair is fair, and I love seeing these guys win, especially when the bottom line here is it's the future of our planet that's at stake. And I want to say one last thing on that you know, we run around saying save the planet, save the planet, save the planet. You know what we really got to do? We got to save ourselves. Our planet, if we move on, if we're exterminated because we've killed ourselves through climate change, planet will be fine. It survived the dinosaurs. It survived asteroids. It survived ice ages. I could go on. It survived for 13 billion years before, you know, in its formation since the beginning of the universe. You know, it's maybe a little off on my math. I'm not sure the planet is 13 billion years old. The universe is, but it survived a hell of a long time before humans ever showed their face. So you know, if we want to save ourselves, this is a bill that's taking a huge step forward. It maintains the US leadership in climate change as well. We now have the opportunity to continue using our bully pulpit and say, you know what, guys, we are making a change here. You've got to do the same to our other allies around the world. And so the potential for this is huge. So I'm thrilled on all these levels. Thanks for watching my quick take, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the like if you liked the video. Definitely leave a comment. I really like replying and knowing what you think. And then you can find a link below to my website, markcoach.net. On Instagram, I'm Mark Progress Coach, and Facebook is Mark Rothman Progress Coach. And I'll see you in the next video.